Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Alex here today and I'm back with another video, and today I'll be doing a random Q&A. Literally, I just went on Instagram, I filmed a video asking you guys to ask me questions and I'll answer. So what I'm going to do is just start picking out questions. I looked at some but not many, so some of them I'll just open and we'll see what happens. So let's go. Here are my messages on Instagram for all of you guys submitted and being quick. Thank you so much. Alright, so let's go. Let's start with a video. So let's do this one. Adam Rakus.
Hey Alex, my question is how to keep a rational mind and make logical decisions during tough times for your business or when dealing with problems. Cheers. Hey,
cool.
Alex.
Alright, so Adam's asking a question: how do you keep a rational mind and be able to help you make clear decisions? And if you guys heard of the bingo theory by Mimi, in there she talks about masculine and feminine energy. So whenever I hear a question like that, being able to make rational, logical decisions, a lot of times what screams at me right away is like feminine energy. And what I mean by that is, as kind of what Mimi describes, is being overly emotional. And I can actually personally relate to this because actually, as Mimi talks about in her book, my strength is actually being a feminine strength male. What that means is actually being emotional is one of my traits, and I'm fairly open about this, and I think it's very important to embrace certain aspects about yourself. But the reason I bring this out to this question and answer it is like, how do you actually balance yourself out? Because that's what the book is all about as well. It's like, how do you actually become a bingo, as Mimi calls it, and become balance of both masculine and feminine energies? Because we both have both. It's not that you're feminine or masculine. Anyways, I'm getting too much into the book, but what I'm trying to say is, what do I do to help me balance and be more rational? Well, I think the most important thing is to pause, like in anything, right? Because a lot of times, in myself personally, I try to go out quick, and this is why I can do these Q&As. Like literally, I just answer, do this thing, and I'm able to answer right away. Something that Mimi, for example, she likes to prepare more, where I can just go at it and just blur it out. However, this is where it comes in, right? Sometimes being too fast can actually not work for you. So this is why it's so important, especially when you sometimes want to make certain decisions that may be bigger decisions. You may want to be able to pause and reflect, right? And however, it's sometimes like my intuition, which is also one of my strengths, will be really calling out, and I'll be able to listen to it and make a decision right away. And I feel, because I'm very in touch with my intuition, I can make that call. However, it doesn't work for anybody, and that's why it's very important to understand and know yourself. And with that, I think taking a pause, reflecting, sometimes even writing down the pros and cons of a certain situation, of certain outcomes of the decision, can help you out. So that's what I would recommend: is pause, reflect, and make a decision. Don't overreact, because that's what a lot of us tend to do in these situations. So let's go to the next question. Let's see if more video questions came in. No? Okay, we're gonna jump to regular posts, regular written questions. Let's see what people ask. Aaron10 asks, hi Alex and Mimi, I would like to know, how do you guys respond to other people's comments or criticism about you, especially negative comments? Well, I think the best way that and how we respond to it, we don't. Right? And this is especially, once again, just even connecting to the previous question and answer, this is something, once again, I learned from Mimi. It's so important not to actually overreact, once again, be emotional, and respond to negative criticism. This is something that we've learned actually, especially over our time of being on YouTube. And don't get me wrong, constructive criticism is important. However, there's just a lot of negative junk that is just out of nowhere. So the way we respond to that is that we don't, because the moment you respond, you're biting the hook. And that's another actually really great book and recommendation for you guys. It's called Don't Bite the Hook. And actually, same thing to the previous question about being overly emotional. Don't Bite the Hook is really great. It's by Pimit Chadran. But what these people are trying to do, they're trying to hook you. Because all haters or negative people they're just trying to get your attention. So the moment you respond to them, you actually let other haters or other negative people come out and be like, hey, this guy is giving us attention, let's attack him. This is actually so important to who you feed. If you feed and respond to people who are positive, then you'll have more people who are coming like that. And if you feed people, if all you're doing is responding to negative criticism, whether it be in personal life through people, then that's all you're gonna get. So just like in life, what you focus on is what you get. So if you want less negative and those kind of comments, well, it's very important to not pay attention to them, especially don't respond to them in public. And this is something that we've learned over the years, and it actually declines as you grow if you don't pay attention to it. So that'll be my response. Okay, take a few more questions and I'll end it. It's a super quick Q&A today. All right, next one. How do you manage to be happy and how do you face difficulties? This is Dia1305 asks. All right, I think so many people overthink and think that, just because even what we put out, that we're happy all the time. The reality is, I'm just like anybody else. I'm a human being, meaning I have ups and downs. And I think the most important thing to understand is don't have that expectation that you should be happy and feeling this bliss all the time. This is the problem with that a lot of our media really creates, or the same thing even consuming Instagram, because you're just seeing the highlights. Right? And same thing when you're watching TV or anything else. You're seeing the highlights of anything and they expect everything to be this high, but life isn't a high. Life is really an experience. So I think the first thing and one of the most important things for yourself to understand that I myself personally remind myself is that it's an experience. There's ups and downs. So the way we manage to be happy or have a better mood is be able to have daily practices that once again allow our thoughts to go towards positivity, because the thought loops, whether it be through media or through how you grew up, can really bog you down into negative thinking. So the way you override that is by having daily practices. So for example, having a meditation practice is very important. That is just helping you just be still and quiet the mind. And when you practice meditation, it may have all these things may come up, and that's totally normal. That's fine. Right? The most important thing is just to sit with it and just observe and let things come out. So, and I really encourage you to do more research or even try apps like Headspace or Calm. So that's one thing. Another thing, that we personally do, and this is once again why we created the 5-minute journal. The 5-minute journal we created for ourselves to have a simple habit that we do in the morning and night that keeps our mind really focused on the good that is in life. So that's why we have a question like, I'm grateful for. If you're saying things that you're grateful for as soon as you wake up, you turn on that brain once again to focus onto that direction, to what you're grateful for. Then the second question is like, what would make today great, right? So you're already projecting how your day is going to be great. Once again, you're focusing your mind on how it's going to be good instead of, oh my God, it's another day and it's going to be so bad, whatever. That's why it's so important to override your mind and to focus on the positive. And then once again, daily affirmation, I am, and stating a positive affirmation for yourself. And you do this on a daily basis. Once again, this is why we created the 5-minute journal, so it's really to help you be there. And the evening portion, once again, the reason I'm saying this to you right now is because once again, you can have your own blank notebook that you buy for $1 and you do this every day, and this will help you. You don't even have to buy the 5-minute journal, right? And the last thing is before night, you do 3 amazing things that happened today. Once again, you're reiterating, you're focusing your mind on the positive. Right? This is why it's so important. Like, all I'm saying is that in order to create anything in your life, you really have to create a daily habit that you do daily, and it's gonna take time. Like I said, even to me personally, it took me like 2 to 3 years to even feel the gratitude, to actually feel it. Be like, holy crap, I'm really grateful. This is actually working. So that's what I want to say to you. That's how you do it. It's daily practice. Last question, and I'm done. This is a super quick Q&A because I'm doing another Q&A, relationship Q&A with Mimi right now. That's going to go on her channel. That's why I'm talking a little fast. May sound like a rapper, but okay. One last question.
I would like to know what inspired you to change your career from working at a bank to what you do now. What was your journey? And if you've read some inspirational books, what are the best that you can recommend? Thank you, Alex.
Thank you for your question, Anastasia Ra. All right, last question. So why did I decide to change my career from banking to entrepreneurship? The real reason I got fired, right? As some of you may know, some of you may not know, that's how I transitioned. And getting fired, once again, as I always talk about, was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And if you may have been laid off or fired, you can actually, once again, turn that negative consequence, because at the time when that happened, I thought my world was over. Because I truly thought I was gonna be banking. And all of a sudden, I had to think, okay, what am I gonna do next? And I'm like, hey, let's give this entrepreneurship thing a try. And before it worked out, it was a few years. And it's something that I don't talk about too much, but Mimi and I, for the next 2-3 years, really we're just trying different ventures, and we did a few and it didn't work out, and it's very important to understand that. So that's what I said. I really did. It wasn't a clear choice. I was kind of put in that situation, and that's what really helped me. Of course, I read many books that inspired me in that time. One of them being was A 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, which allowed me to really realize how we can be in control and be able to design our life to how we want it to be fit. And this is something that we were talking with our friends over dinner last night, or like everything that I have now, you know, whether it be the relationship I have with Mimi, whether it be our business, whether it be the way we live, in the apartment that we live in London, and all that stuff, all this thing isn't intentional. And that's what I think really Tim Ferriss really opened up our mind about, is that how you can actually design your lifestyle with your own intention. And guys, like anything, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take you to build up a lot of your habits. It may take years, but it is possible. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm looking forward to doing more Q&As. I'm gonna do my best to do these weekly, because I think they're really important. I think you guys get a lot out of it. So let me know down below how you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it for you guys. All right, take care. Now I'm gonna do the relationship Q&A with Mimi. Make sure to watch that next. See you guys.